This is breaking news.
Squid Game Season 3 teases return of its worst characters. Squid Game is ready to make its comeback to Netflix, with the third and final season of the series later this summer, and it's teasing the return of some of its worst characters before it all comes to an end. Squid Game returned for its highly anticipated second season at the end of 2024, and it quickly became one of the most watched seasons of Netflix of all time. Just like the first season, response to Squid Game Season 2 has been positive with both critics and fans. Maybe in some aspects, it was received even better in the second season. One of the better elements from Squid Game Season 2 was actually something that was missing entirely. The most divisive episode from the very well-received first season of the series was the debut of the VIPs making their bets on everything happening in the games themselves. They felt so out of the world that it almost ruined the watching experience. So when they didn't return in the new season, it was a welcome breath of fresh air. Which is why it seems surprising that Squid Game is teasing their return for the final season. In one of the first look images from Squid Game Season 3 released by Netflix, the front man is clearly in the VIP room that was in the first season. Due to the blurring of the rest of the area around him, it's unclear if the VIPs are there in the room with him, but it's a dangerous tease for the final episodes. The VIPs nearly ruined fans' perception of that first season of the series, as their debut episode seemed to toss out the goodwill and world building from the rest of it, and the final season would be taking a step backwards to bring them back. But there is a potential bright side to bringing them back in the final season of Squid Game, however, if they get their just desserts. Part of the anger at seeing the VIPs the first time around was that Gi-hun was nowhere near the same realm. Despite everything he would do in the game, he'd never be able to solve the real problem. But with everything he tried at the end of Season 2, it does seem like there's a much grander plan at play for the games themselves. If Gi-hun is able to bring down the games, then bringing down the VIPs comes right along with it. It's a return that wouldn't be as bad as their first time around. Thankfully, it won't be too much longer before we get to see how Squid Game ends, as Season 3 of the series will be making its worldwide debut with Netflix on June 27th. It's yet to be revealed how many episodes this final season will be running for, but it's got quite a lot to pick up from with the end of the second season. Series creator Hwang Dong-hyuk previously opened up about turning this final story into 2 seasons. When I first wrote the story of Seasons 2 and 3, it was one long story arc. Elaborating further, and I was originally planning to write this story across a span of about 8 to 9 episodes. But once I finished the story, it came to over 10 episodes, which I thought was too long to contain in a single season. He even brought the second season to its end with its cliffhanger to give this part of Gi-hun's arc closure. And so I wanted to have an adequate point where I could give closure as a second season, and then move on with the third.